All right, let's get into a story that honestly feels like it's straight out of a movie. But it's not. It's this incredible tale of love, of lost memories, and a truly devastating lie, where the entire truth, believe it or not, comes down to one single forgotten photograph.
So let's just dive right in. I want you to imagine for a second that your life is stolen from you. Your memories are just gone. And the one person you love most in the world is convinced that you just walked out on them. Now, what if the only thing that could fix it all was a picture? A picture taken 2 years ago and developed completely by chance.
Okay, so our story kicks off with Masha. She's a medical student, and her life seems totally mapped out. Just not by her. She's with this wealthy, handsome guy, Igor. But, just beneath the surface, something feels really, really wrong.
Masha's life with Igor. You could call it a golden cage, right? He gives her security, sure, but it costs her her freedom. His family, especially his mother, they're so cold and disapproving. Masha always feels like she doesn't belong. Then, out of nowhere, in this moment of pure chaos, she meets Sasha. He's a total stranger, and her world just gets flipped upside down. Their connection is just, bam, instant. It's spontaneous, it's powerful. It's everything that her suffocating life with Igor is not.
So how do they even meet? Well, it's pretty wild. After this awful, humiliating dinner with Igor's mother, Masha just runs out into the street, totally heartbroken. And that's when it happens. She's almost hit by a guy on a motorcycle. That guy is Sasha. And instead of getting mad, he sees she's crying and hits her with this unbelievable charm, joking, "I'll marry you if you want."
And this is where things get absolutely insane. He wasn't kidding. Swept up in this crazy moment, they walk from the spot where they almost crashed, straight to the marriage registry, and they file an application. The whole thing takes like 10 minutes. No questions, no second thoughts. The chemistry is just, it's undeniable.
So the next few weeks are just a complete dream. To show her he's serious, Sasha sells his motorcycle, the very thing that brought them together, to start building their future. Masha meets his mom, who isn't judgmental at all. She's warm, she's welcoming, a totally different world from Igor's family. It all just feels so right. And the peak of all this happiness comes during a picnic with their friends where they share the most amazing news. Masha's pregnant.
But on that very same night, while they're celebrating, their perfect story takes this dark, sudden turn. Sasha gets a phone call. It's urgent. He tells their friends he's got to run into the city, but he'll be back in the morning, and then he's just gone.
Masha wakes up, and he's not there. She calls his phone, again and again, and all she gets is that same empty message. Days become weeks, weeks become months. The police can't find anything. It's like Sasha literally vanished off the face of the earth, leaving a pregnant and completely heartbroken Masha all alone.
So for the next 2 years, the story splits. We're going to follow two parallel lives. For Masha, it's the story of complete psychological manipulation. And for Sasha, well, his story is one of a completely erased identity.
And of course, who steps in? Igor, her controlling ex. He sees his chance. He doesn't come back as a friend. He comes back like a predator, preying on Masha when she's at her most vulnerable. He isolates her, makes her believe she has no one else. And when she gives birth to their daughter, Lisa, Igor makes his final move. He tells everyone, including his powerful mother who runs the hospital, that the baby is his. Masha, with zero support and believing the love of her life just left her, feels like she has no other choice but to go along with it, trapping herself in this miserable, loveless life.
So, where was Sasha this whole time? The truth is just devastating. He was found on a riverbank with a severe head injury, suffering from total amnesia. He had no clue who he was. A local woman, Tosha, found him, and instead of trying to help him find his past, she just invented a new one for him. She told him they were together and kept him totally isolated from the world.
I mean, just think about the sheer cruelty of their two stolen realities. Masha is raising their daughter Lisa completely convinced that Sasha abandoned them. Her heart is broken by a lie. And meanwhile, Sasha is living this quiet, fake life just miles away with no idea that the woman and the child he dreamed of even exist. They're both victims, trapped in these two separate, awful deceptions.
Okay, let's jump ahead 2 years. Masha and Igor are throwing a housewarming party. It seems like just another day in their unhappy marriage. But a forgotten roll of film is about to bring the whole thing crashing down.
You see, their old friend Kostya, a photography geek who still uses an old film camera, he was at that fateful picnic.
He stumbles upon the negatives completely by accident and just decides, what the heck, I'll finally develop the photos from that day. 2 years later.
So as their friends are looking through these printed photos, they're just reminiscing, remembering what a happy day that was. And they see one of Sasha in a little boat on the river. But then they notice something else. There's somebody else in the boat with him, kind of hidden in the background.
Kostya gets a closer look. He enlarges that one little part of the photo. And that's when the lie just shatters into a million pieces. The man in the boat, holding an oar, is, without a doubt, Igor. The very same Igor who swore for 2 long years that he was nowhere near them that day.
So this one photo, it doesn't just raise questions. It kicks off this frantic, high-stakes race to uncover a 2-year conspiracy. The truth is finally coming out, and believe me, it is going to be explosive.
And everything starts to unravel, fast. Kostya confronts Igor, who admits he was there but twists the story, saying Sasha falling was just an accident. Desperate to keep his secret, Igor then murders Kostya and makes it look like a heart attack. But it's too late. Another friend, Lilia, finds the photo. She calls Masha, catching her at the airport just moments before she leaves for Germany with Igor forever. And at the same time, Lilia finds Sasha.
When Lilia shows Sasha that photograph, it's like a dam just breaks inside his mind. His memory comes flooding back in this painful, overwhelming rush. He remembers Igor confronting him, the argument in the boat, Igor hitting him with the oar, the shock of the freezing water. He remembers Masha. He remembers everything. 730 days. Think about that. That's how long Igor's obsessive lie stole their lives. 2 years of a fake reality built on violence and manipulation, all unraveled by a single snapshot in time.
With the police closing in on Igor, Sasha just races to the airport. And there, his memory fully restored, he is finally reunited with Masha. He sees her across the terminal, and for the very first time, he gets to meet his daughter Lisa. A family torn apart by a terrible lie is finally back together. It's just an unbelievable story, right? And it really leaves you with this one powerful question. In the end, what proved to be stronger? Was it the love that was buried so deep in Sasha's memory he couldn't find it? Or was it the all-consuming lie that Igor built to trap everyone around him? It's a powerful reminder of how fragile our memories can be, but also how incredibly resilient a true connection really is.